QUEZON in game number 1 shot more than 50% in the first half. Although they only shot 34% this time in game number 2. Gaya ng binanggit mo, just 27% from ABRA in the first 2 quarters. Third quarter underway, Chu blocking that shot by Al Tamsi as LJ Gonzalez, lone guy in double figures.
Yeah.
Not anymore because Jason Brickman hits a free. He's up to 11. And we have a duel at that point guard spot here.
And if you're gonna give Jason Brickman his rhythm 1-2 stop before he takes a shot, there's a good chance that shot is gonna go in from the outside.
LJ running into traffic. Al Tamsi, pasa palabas. Vince Magbuhos got caught stepping on the sideline. Yeah.
That's a good take on the other end by Jason Brickman. You see that you give him that space to stop on a 1-2. Yun ang palaging gustong gawin ni Jason Brickman. You see that in warm-ups. He always goes 1-2, then take shots.
Ildefonso, silky smooth jumper. Good sign after just 3 points in the second half and overtime in game number 1.
I like how he calmly took that shot. Went to do that spot on the floor and took it. Made that really good follow through and able to find bottom of the net.
Gonzalez, supalpal inabot kay Chu. Uruba unable to keep it in bounds. Ball will stay with QUEZON but only 6 on their shot clock.
Now, one other thing that the QUEZON Huskers really have to watch out for is that they are a -10 in terms of attempts against the Weavers only because they've committed 10 turnovers.
Just inside the arc, Magbuhos, wala. And Serrano grabs the rebound.
And every time na may turnover itong Huskers, it's empty possessions. Ni walang shot attempt. Yun ang nagiging key difference dito sa game na to. It's the defense so far that's held up for the Weavers.
They go to the post. Dave backing down Joshua Yero. Ildefonso took his time. Left it short though. LJ Gonzalez facing a double team. Finds Joshua Yero. Swing pass. Al Tamsi is free for a free. Lista mo na.
Well, Al Tamsi's been the consistent scorer from the outside. Matter of fact, even in game number 1, I think he shot, what, 40-50% from the field altogether. And so him and Pagaran have really elevated that field goal percentage para dito sa Weavers, as a Huskers.
Offensive foul on Chu. That's his third. Picked up 2 quick ones in the first half. In the first quarter, actually. 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
And a good read by Yero. As soon as that was Jason Brickman, I think that closed out to him on that 3. Immediately leaving Al Tamsi right there in the corner for that made 3. And Al Tamsi was 1 out of 2 from 3 in game number 1, where he hit 3 of 4 attempts from the field for a 75% field goal make.
In comes Ryan Batino. Interestingly enough, no Raven Gonzalez to start the third for ABRA as they cling on to this 2-point lead.
Spain action incoming right here. Tamsi with a pop-out. That's it. That's the shot.
Libreng-libre para sa 3. Masyadong malakas. Ball off Dave Ildefonso. It will stay with the Huskers.
And every time you have Al Tamsi on the bottom part of that stack formation with a big man, you know that is going to be Spain action intended for the shooter.
That's going to be important, especially with Cabanal struggling from beyond the arc. No Diego Dario, no Judel Fuentes.
Yes.
Who's going to help with the load that LJ Gonzalez is carrying right now?
That's right.
In game 1, it was Christian Pagaran.
Yeah. Well, LJ played more than 30 minutes in game number 1, and he really led everyone in terms of minutes, 30 minutes to be exact, in game number 1.
ABRA regains possession after that foul on QUEZON. Brickman behind the back, pulling up over LJ Gonzalez. It will roll out. May foul na ipipito laban kay Joseph Cabayni.
Pero you kind of expect that, Ken. Every time natitira itong ABRA Weavers, you expect na merong either magbabox out sa pinakamalapit na makakakuha ng rebound or may tutulong na re-rebound. Kasi offensive rebounding has really been key in game number 1. And that's what really given them more field goal attempts para dito sa Weavers. Oh, that's a foul.
Wait a minute. Clearly a foul on Yero.
Yeah, that's right.
Immediately after, something happened. Tampos shortly. 7 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the third.
Foul on number 41, Joshua Yero. That's his first. Upon review, there was an unsportsmanlike foul on number 24, John Oduba, for excessive hard contact. Second foul on John Oduba.
Yeah, it was the second motion after the foul given by Joshua Yero.
We'll see that again. That shot went in.
But I did not hear Richard Tampos mention that it was a made basket goal.
That was a by the paint. He got that alley-oop. He rose up for a shot.
Pero hindi, mukhang hindi ganun yung interpretation, Coach Mike,
Yeah.
because eto na, nag-free throw na si Joshua Yero. Because if it was in the act, supposedly, John Oduba was gonna shoot
That's right.
the bonus free throw, and then these two free throws
That is
plus
right.
ball possession
That is
for
right.
Quezon.
Exactly.
So napaganda para sa Quezon yung sitwasyon na yun. Yero hits both. We are tied again at 33 apiece. Our fifth deadlock to go along with 10 lead changes already.
yes. Also, which in game number 1, we had 10 lead changes the entire game, and 6 times that game got tied.
Pero dikit din.
Dikit din.
Pinakamalaking lamang lang nung larong yun was at 10 points late in regulation for
That's right.
Quezon.
That's right.
Gonzalez trying to navigate against Brickman. Pasa muna kay Joshua Yero. Attacking the defense of David Defonso. Coming away empty on that trip.
Good defense by Dave, staying right in front of that drive by Joshua Yero.
Ildefonso gets to his spot. No good. Joshua Yero with a rebound. LJ Gonzalez with a full burst of speed. Masyado lang malakas. Quickly on the other side, numbers for ABRA. Serrano attacks the defense. Magbuhos with a rebound. LJ lob to Pagaran, but wasn't able to keep himself in bounds. Boy, Encho Serrano has been struggling in this series. And now he's gonna be replaced by Mike Ayon.
Well, only because I feel mabibilis rin yung defenders nitong Quezon Huskers. Alam mo naman si Encho puts in a lot of speed, change of pace, change of direction, but every time he does that, he still finds a defender right in front of him. Kaya hindi ganun kadali yun ang magiging shot attempts para dito kay Encho Serrano.
11 turnovers by Quezon, 6 more than ABRA, and yet we're deadlocked at 33. $14 fouls? No, sorry, 13 foul. Which, hindi, tama, 4 na. So, their last foul to give. I was about to say, Coach Mike, na they've done a good job of containing their fouls. And now it's an offensive foul against Ryan Batino.
That's the second moving screen that we've seen. Well, let's see that again. If it was indeed a move on that screen. Jason got that ball. He was going to that right side of the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty clear.
He stuck out that left leg
Di pa naka-establish eh.
on the path of LJ Gonzalez. Deadlock game.
Approaching the 6-minute mark of the third. Kapanal at the elbow, Simon Sandagon. Sa loob, pumihit si Vince Magbuhos. He will score and Quezon retakes the lead. Our 11th lead change of the game.
And Vince goes to that footwork, going inside reverse against Dave Ildefonso in the paint.
Dave, great defense until that point. Gab Banal giving up the foul. They are in penalty.
Yeah, indeed. That was a good call. Because he definitely held on. As you see this move right here. High-low from the elbow. Vince takes it and finishes with the left hand. And that pretty much has been the read of your scheme offensively para dito sa Quezon Huskers. Get a paint touch, get a pass, and find one more.
Third miss at the line for David Defonso, 5 out of 8. Swishes in the second, 12 points for Dave.
Again, he's in double digits, and he's gotten almost his points from the line because once he gets inside the paint, he will get fouled.
Magbuhos. Ball tapped out of bounds by John Oduba.
Medyo dikit yung space doon. Didn't have enough space for that handoff.
Si Alvin Abundo ang pumalit kay LJ Gonzalez dito sa third quarter. Santagon, great job by Oduba standing his ground. Ildefonso facing a double team. Pasa kay Ayonayon. Mike gets it back from Ryan Batino. Ayonayon. Drop pass. Oduba floats it up and in.
John Oduba might just be the best catch and shoot player inside the paint. He's been so effective. His shooting percentage in the playoffs, nice pass and a good finish this time from Simon Sandagon. Again, you're forcing the bigs to go out for the Weavers and you've got somebody rolling downstairs. That time around happens to be Simon.
No look pass from Vince Magbuhos. Lamang na ulit ang Quezon. 13 lead changes already. Oy, similarly, a recipient of that pass, Oduba from Ryan Batino.
The Weavers right now giving the Huskers a dose of their own medicine. Interior passing, finding John Oduba. Oh man.
Ay, mintis lang. Sorry, miss from Sandagon. Both teams executing well. Deep in the trenches, David Defonso settles for a mid-range jumper. It will pop out.
Kasi all the looks of David Defonso are very makeable. Komportable siya dun sa mga spots na yun. Kaya lang, yung luwa no? Yung nasa loob na, nilalabas pa.
Panal. Isang maganda na namang pasa, pero mintis na naman. Galing kay Simon Sandagon.
Two good looks, two quick passes, close misses, both for Simon.
Again, they need to make those, especially when you consider no Raven Gonzalez and J.O. Chu. I mean, John Oduba and Ryan Batino are tough, but they're not the type of rim protectors that those two guys are.
And I'd like to think, Ken, one of the reasons kung bakit wala yung Twin Towers na yon para dito sa Weavers is because the Huskers have really sped up the game. Foot speed inside the paint has been key for the Huskers, and Gabanal falling down, had to go to that footwork and that English on that shot.
That's the first field goal make in this series for Campanal, and he did it the hard way, but more importantly, giving the lead back to Quezon, 39-38, under 3 minutes remaining in the third. Mike Ayonayon, scoop layup though, but a foul whistled on a Husker. It's gonna go against Simon Sandagon.
And if you're the Weavers, you have to love that action. See this move right here by Gabanal. To your point, first field goal make for Gab.
Play of the game is brought to you by 747 Live. Dito nga sa Legit, your game, your chance, your thrill, only with 747 Live.
At itong larong to, Ken, nagpapatuloy na nagiging defensive ang tema, because when you look at how these guys have actually stayed right in front, or if they get beat, may tumutulong at naganda yung mga rotation, na mga help. Kahit na yung magagandang pasa sa loob para dito sa Huskers, talaga napipilitan madaliin yung tira because alam nilang may parating na patulong na depensa.
Mike Ayonayon ties the ball game up at 39 apiece. Itong free throw na ito ay atid sa atin na Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. First 2 points of Ayonayon in this game.
Ayonayon has actually made 47% of his shots previous to game number 1, and that's the number I think that you're gonna need from Mike. Nice pass again inside.
At nawala sa eksena si Raven Gonzalez with that shot fake by RJ Minerva, showing composure underneath to score.
Now Raven's gonna have to move his feet inside the paint with all this interior passing coming from the Huskers.
13 assists from Quezon, Another foul, this time by Topeng Lagrama. That's going to be the challenging part for QUEZON without LJ Gonzalez. But look at this execution once again from the Huskers.
Just a good find right there for RJ Minerva. And just a quick pass coming from Gab Banal. Samantalang on the other end, Marvin Taiwan will always generate that closeout, which Topeng Lagrama got bit into. And naunahan siya doon sa baseline, kaya wala na siya magagawa kundi foulin na lang ito si Marvin Taiwan dahil pag nakalusot yun, paniguradong puntos na yon para dito kay Marvin, especially that's on the right side of the floor, on the baseline side where you have a left-handed player that can easily finish.
Also, his first 2 points, both he and I9 were scoreless in the first half. 17 lead changes and 5 deadlocks in this game. ABRA holding on to a 1-point lead. Pagaran launches a free. Too strong. Serrano with a rebound under 2 minutes left in the third.
And if you're the Weavers, you're liking that, you know, medyo malamig ang kamay nito ni Pagaran. Kung Huskers ka naman, you gotta find someone else.
Play broken up. Pagaran zooming in. Oh,
wow!
What an acrobatic finish from Christian Pagaran. Gliding in the air and putting QUEZON up once again, 43-42.
This is where the duo of Raven Gonzalez and Batino will really have to go to their foot speed, because the Huskers have been, you know, pressing the game, speeding it up, either full length or half court.
Last break of the game is brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme Magpalamig free installation for split-type air conditioners.
Air Christian Pagaran, if you ask me, literally floating on that finish. Literal, umupo sa air talaga.
Yoyo pa. By the way, binanggit mo na rin na parang nagkape sa ere, no? Shout out sa Origami Cafe here in ABRA.
Oh, yeah?
Specialty coffee. Had our coffee fix there. Ryan Batino hitting his first free throw.
Ang dami rin kapihan dito sa ABRA, no?
Oo. Tapla na naman tayo. 6 deadlock of the game. 43 all.
If you're a fan of the game, you have to love this series.
Obiso, nakapwesto, pero wala. Rebound nakuha ni Raven Gonzalez. Marvin Taiwan. They'll try to execute here.
Solo side against Minerva, they feel they have an advantage against Batino.
Batino immediately attacks. At yun na nga, nakabingwit siya ng foul laban kay RJ Minerva.
Yeah, obviously, twice already they've gone to that post-up against RJ Minerva, because if you keep on solo coverage against Batino, he is gonna beat you in one way or another. Either he's gonna pull his way inside, or he's gonna put that drop step going the baseline side, which in my opinion is one of the go-to moves of Batino down on the low block.
Ryan Batino will shoot 2 free throws. LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL.
A deadlock game with a minute to go in the third quarter with so many lead changes and times that this game has tied. It just gives credit to the type of preparation that both these teams have made before this series.
ABRA has shot much better from the line this time. 14 out of 18 compared to game number 1. Pagaran gets a breather. In comes Joshua Yero. Big stretch here in the last minute for QUEZON, as ABRA clinging on to this 2-point advantage. Gonzalez is back in. Taiwan falling down on the floor. 9 seconds left on their shot clock. LJ navigating through that screen. Pass to Opiso. Still can't hit those jumpers. Jump ball. Possession arrow pointing to ABRA.
Well, Al Francis Tamsi tried to go for that offensive rebound. Eventually lost it, and the jump resulting in the possession arrow pointing the side of the Weavers.
Ito na yung small lineup, ha?
Yeah.
Coach Yong Garcia putting Dave Ildefonso at the 4. Gonzalez is playing the 5 spot while
Right.
QUEZON countering with a 1-3-1 zone.
Right. And so they really are just
Hindi.
allowing shots from the outside.
Sorry, 5 smalls sila dito ah.
All right. This is all small. This is small ball right now by the Weavers. Oh,
And it
my
comes
God.
with that 3 by Marwin Taiwan. Time winding down. Gonzalez misses. And that will signal the end of
Going at it against the Weavers, getting those interior passes many times, that roll by Simon Sandagon. And then once they miss, they immediately go to those front, allowing finishes like this by Christian Pagaran. But on the other end, it's just been able to make up for different ways as that 3 by Marvin Taiwan.
Highlight of the game is brought to you by Zip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration. We head into the 4th period. The ABRA Solid North Weavers ahead over QUEZON 48-43.
Nag-join sila. Pero nung second season na nag-join na sila, at least, and I thank you Kong JB Bernos and Kong Ching Bernos dahil dinala nila ang PBL dito sa ABRA. So maraming salamat po.
Matanong ko naman, alam ko namang medyo obvious na at may hawak ka diyang picture, pero kanino ba ikaw sumusuporta dito sa ABRA Solid North Weavers? Sino ang pinaka-chini-cheer mo, ma'am?
Ang pinaka-cheer ko of course, sabi nga nila mag-relative daw kami ni Dave Ildefonso kasi yung mother niya is Blackera and from ABRA talaga. So nag-usap naman kami minsan ni Dave. Natuwa naman siya na nakilala namin ng isa't isa. As in, sobrang saya niya kasi meron daw pala siyang relative dito sa ABRA. Yun talagang legit naman na Blackera daw yung mother niya. Yun.
Okay.
So, in a way, magkamag-anak kami.
Nakakatuwa naman. Alright, maraming salamat. And please keep supporting the ABRA Solid North Weavers at syempre ang MPBL. Once again, Madam G. Lakera.
Maraming salamat, Mika. I did not know that Dave, his mother, was actually from this area. Ang alam ko lang si Lakay was from Urdaneta, Pangasinan, as QUEZON getting themselves on the board. You see how things were pretty much all tied up in the first 2 quarters. Coach Mike, tabla tayo ah.
Yeah.
Late in the 3rd period before that 5-0 blast by ABRA to give the lead. But again, sumagot na naman itong QUEZON. Patino with a good-looking jumper from the left baseline.
Now that is important make for Alfred Batino because that will force a Gabayni to go stretch out to him and leaving that entire paint for their scorers inside to penetrate.
Speaking of penetrate, that's exactly what Pagaran does. But it's a wayward pass. Turnover against QUEZON. Coach Nash, Coach Richie Dixon in the face of referee Jay Castroverde.
Yeah, because I think to their point, it was last touch by Encho Serrano before it went out. And it hit, I don't know if it was Coach Richie Dixon from what I saw. And that's why it happened right in front of them. That's why they're going to challenge this.
A coach's challenge from QUEZON at the 8-minute and 49-second mark of the 4th. We'll be back for the result.
The review for the challenge was inconclusive and it has been nullified. We will stand on the call. ABRA basketball.
Inconclusive challenge. So the call will stand, but they will maintain their challenge. Okay about tong QUEZON. So ABRA trying to extend the lead. We haven't had a double-digit advantage here in game number 2. So we have Ryan Batino, John Oduba, Encho Serrano, Dave Ildefonso, and Marwin Taiwan on the floor for the Weavers. Encho, what a pass! Batino will lay it in.
You see how that made basket earlier from the outside by Batino has really forced Joseph Gabay need to stay attached, as we see a good three right there by Vince Magbuhos, to stay attached with Batino, and so that when he goes up, dinadala niya si Joseph. Pagkatapos ng screen, rumoroll, kaya nalibre si Batino doon kanina.
Mabasa 4 ang lamang ng ABRA. Ildefonso got fouled by Pagaran.
Well, clearly a foul right there as Christian Pagaran really tried to keep in step against Dave Ildefonso on that lift.
Assist of the game is powered by 747 Live. Dito ka sa legit.
And the Huskers always try and put a drop coverage in that middle lane of the floor, which Joseph really had to be that guy, completely forgetting about Joseph.
Let's check in with Mika.
Kwento ni Coach Yong Garcia, for the first time in a long time sa lamig dito sa venue, pawis na pawis daw siya nung Game 1. Para daw siyang naglaro. Halong kaba, kumpiyansa at kung ano pa ang mga naramdaman niya. With 53% team field goals, 44% sa threes, 11 3-pointers, 33 points na daw yun for Quezon. Swerte pa rin daw talaga sila that they won. Usually dominance ang way of winning nila, but that was luck after effort, he said. He also talked about Christian Pagaran, 4 out of 4 sa threes. He actually took a shot in getting him for ABRA before the season started. Naunahan lang daw siya ng Quezon. Now, he turned out to be one of their biggest problems. Now, in the huddle, Coach Yong emphasized being alert in terms of where the shooters are and for the shooters to also show themselves. Ken, Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. Wow, what a story that was, Coach Mike.
Yeah, and I love that report by Mika because, in my opinion, yung nakalaban nitong Abra Weavers na Caloocan and Pangasinan were really paint teams, meaning they'd love to get in the paint, post-ups or what have you. But when you swing over to the Quezon Huskers, this is a three-point shooting team, and so you can't camp in the paint. You have to close out on shooters, which the adjustment was really in game number 1 para dito sa Weavers na nahirapan sila i-figure out. Sinamahan pa ng magandang interior passing nga nitong Quezon Huskers. It made all the more difficult to cover against the Huskers.
When you look rather at their shot profile, talking about tong Quezon, for the entire season, almost half of their attempts come from threes.
That's right.
Around 46%. In game number 1, they had 25 attempts from beyond the arc, 62 total.
Yes.
So basically, nasa ganung range pa rin, nasa 40% plus.
Yep.
But, wow, what a story. If Pagaran ended up with Abra, but now thriving with Quezon. I mean, the upside's really tantalizing if you look at how he plays, how he moves inside the court. But right now, Abra though, holding on to this 5-point lead, 53-48, 3 minutes gone by in the fourth period.
And the key difference here for the Huskers compared to game number 1 is really shot making. They're getting the same looks on those passes as Marvin Taiwan knocks down another 3.
Ildefonso setting him up. Lead has ballooned to 8. LJ pass outside. Tamsi, he drives. He got fouled by Marvin Taiwan. 2 free throws coming up for Al Tamsi.
Look at that pass right though. Nail help. LJ tried to dig in, leaving behind Marvin Taiwan, who had the easiest move in that sequence. He really just had to catch the ball and shoot it on his favorite spot on the floor, that left wing 3.
Big miss at the line. The Abreños trying to distract Al Tamsi. And they do a good job. He comes up empty on that trip.
12 turnovers, 14 points given up by the Huskers against the Weavers. You got to take better care of the ball and make better conversions if you're Quezon.
Dave. No. Jiu Chu. Wala pa din. Tapigan ng bola. May foul. Laban kay John Oduba.
Well, he kept holding on to the arm of Simon Sandagon, and you have really to admire Simon's effort underneath. Kanina pa niya nakakalaban lahat yan. Raven Gonzalez, Jiu Chu, Marvin Taiwan, John Oduba. and even Alfred Batino, and he just kept going in there. You see that size difference between Gio and Simon, but Simon's been taking it to him.
LJ Gonzalez drives. Pocket pass in traffic. Sandagon. Nawala sa kanyang bola. Taiwan coming away with a steal.
Kita mo yung adjustment ng Weavers, Ken. The ball goes inside the paint. Anybody who's driving down the paint and goes baseline, there is a good chance that that pass is going to be back to the guy in front of the rim. That happens to be Simon Sandagon. And I think ang hinihingi naman ni Coach Eric, every time makuha mo yung bola on that side of the floor, catch and shoot ka na. Dahil ganun ka nakalapit, you're supposed to be able to make a decent shot with the defense, you know, looking away from you.
5 steals from ABRA. Jason Brickman returns. Taiwan off the bounce. Drop pass. Oduba. No good. Another foul call on John Oduba.
I gotta give credit to the defense. The rotate of the Huskers against that drop pass of Marvin Taiwan. Marvin Taiwan has made a couple of threes, and so you close out long on him. In that instance, Marvin decides, I'm going to put this ball on the floor and then drive. If I have a look, I will take it. If not, I will drop it to the next guy available, which happens to be John Oduba in that instance.
Vince Magbuhos hits the free throw. 56-49. Coach Mike, to ABRA's credit though, because QUEZON shot 3 out of 11 from 3 in the first half, but
Yes.
here in the second half, only 2 out of 7. As Magbuhos misses another one. Free throws have also been a problem for QUEZON.
It has not been a good three-point shooting game for both these teams.
Taiwan, that time it will not work. Approaching the halfway point of the fourth, LJ Gonzalez high off the glass, Mintes. Jason Brickman, in front of him, Gab Banal.
Wisely pulls it back and waits for his teammates.
Jason Brickman with 11 points. Passing that screen from Gio Chu. The lift. Taiwan. Oduba. 2 seconds left on their shot clock. Brickman hoisting it up. Draws a foul while taking a free. That's painful.
Yeah.
If you're QUEZON.
That shot actually had no chance of going in. If you look at the shooting mechanics of Jason Brickman, he was moving with the ball on that side of the floor, got a couple of defenders on him, and he didn't get to his rhythm moves before that shot.
We have a challenge. We'll be back for the result.
Upon review, the challenge was unsuccessful.
Tough break for QUEZON. So third foul on Campanal.
See that again? I think he really got held up. Yeah, andun yung kamay ni Gabe on that shooting arm of Jason.
Yeah, every time you put your hands in that position, you're gonna be in a very dangerous predicament. Especially with Jason Brickman.
Oo. Parang ano yan, in-extend mo yung arm mo, nag-low rip si player, inangat yung bola, that is a foul.
Jason Brickman has been phenomenal from the free throw line. 82%. Itong free throw na ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. So only 2 free throws. Tama, no? 2 free throws lang.
Yes.
LJ Gonzalez, Gab Banal.
Yeah, because all the while we thought it was a 3-point shot attempt.
Yeah. Kasama nila si Al Tamsi, Vince Magbuhos, and Joshua Yero. So both teams going a bit small here. Yero to Campanal, 7 seconds on their shot clock. LJ Gonzalez has to make something here. LJ drives, gliding in the air. No good. Taiwan with a running start. Brickman, hindi nakatingin si Encho, but good thing they recovered the basketball. Encho, hanap na papasahan. Binigay muna kay Dave Ildefonso.
Immediately, Vince Magbuhos calling that switch against Yero.
Serrano with 5 on the shot clock, fading away. Left it short. Magbuhos the rebound. Gonzalez putting some speed on. ABRA in penalty, so 2 free throws coming up for LJ Gonzalez.
Now the question is, will that be an advantage foul? Would that be escalated to an unspo? Because clearly LJ was way ahead.
Baka it falls under the criteria of an unsportsmanlike foul.
The old heads would call that the old man foul in pickup games because alam mo yun, naunahan ka na, hindi ka na makababa sa depensa, papaulin mo na lang. Para, this is that part of the game which the ABRA Weavers in game number 1 showed no quit. Now it's the Huskers' turn to show that they don't have quit in themselves as well, despite being down here by, what, 7 or 9 rather.
LJ Gonzalez though has yet to score here in the second half. Ito yung nangyari, no? Try to split the defense. Nakauna siya eh.
Yeah.
He had that dribble to get himself ahead.
That's right.
That's where the foul occurred.
That's right.
Meanwhile, maibalita tayo kay Mika.
LJ Gonzalez admitted, tao lang siya. It is just human nature to sometimes feel that you need more help despite being the superpower of the Huskers. Being extremely doubled and tripled in the last seconds of game 1, he was hoping for help. But he also knew how much pressure everyone was going through. Lesson learned din daw kasi akala niya may oras pa sa shot clock dun sa huling tira niya that could have changed things there nung game 1. In his last season here, he is leaving us with a spectacular stint, whatever the results. Ken, Coach Mike.
No doubt about that, Mika. At alam mo, it's easier said than done eh.
Oo.
Magkaroon ka ng tulong, especially in those tense moments. But you gotta love the poise of LJ Gonzalez. Here he is. He sets up Magbuhos. That's the 3rd time that a big man underneath has been set up beautifully but just could not convert.
And again, Ken, I keep on saying this. They are getting their looks off passes, but they're just not making them.
Brickman sa loob. Pumwersa. Wala. LJ Gonzalez picks up the basketball. Pass to Gab Banal to go to the post.
Swing.
Magbuhos.
Shot. Didn't take it.
Gonzalez will recycle their offense up against Marwin Taiwan. Facing a double team again. Both teams have not shot the ball well here in this quarter. Yero off to the right. And again, ABRA letting other people beat them apart from LJ Gonzalez.
And this small ball combination has really allowed the Weavers to stay in step and attach beyond the arc against the Huskers, and even when they roll down the paint.
Taiwan floats it up. No. Dave Ildefonso has a double-double, 13 points and 13 rebounds. Taiwan can't get it to fall. Uduba grabs the rebound. Shot clock winding down, but Banal takes it anyway.
Oh, wow.
Tamsi lost it.
Did you see that defense by Marwin Taiwan? He's been doing that all night long against every guard that he's defended. He keeps on putting that inside arm of his and trying to check the outside shoulder in an attempt to try and derail any move that's done on him by the ball handler. And so far that has once again resulted in a stop for Marwin Taiwan. This is a baseline out of bounds for the Huskers.
7-point lead for ABRA. So the roles have been switched. Game number 1, ABRA ang naghabol, down by 10. Now it's QUEZON's turn to try to mount a comeback here as we are entering the last 2 minutes of regulation.
There's that switch that they want.
Foul on Taiwan.
Yeah.
They are in penalty. So Altamsi, who missed 2 free throws earlier, will be tested once again at that 15-foot line.
Right. And that is not a good foul to give up if you're Marvin Taiwan. We understand that Tamsi might, be a free guy from 3. He's one of the best 3-point shooters for the Huskers. And you don't want to leave him. But one thing, though, is you also cannot afford to foul Alphonsus Tamsi because he's good from the line.
First free throw is good for Altamsi.
He's a 52% 3-point shooter. Tamsi for the Huskers in the playoffs.
Oh, tiluwa yung pangalawa. So just 1 out of 4 for Altamsi. Brickman sends it to Mike Ayonayon. ABRA on top by 8.
Down 6, you still have time.
6 seconds left on their shot clock. Brickman. Ildefonso against Pagaran. Niluwa. Door still open for Quezon. LJ crossover. Oh my God, but he misses though. That would have been a spectacular move, but a sorry miss.
Ooh.
Gonzalez.
Ooh.
That looked off Taiwan though.
Yeah, that looked off Taiwan. It happened right in front of us. That sure looked like off Marvin Taiwan. But that finish though, by LJ, has been so good.
Quick shout out to Boss Senel Tupas, who is in a Christmas party right now. Sana all, boss. 58-52. This is a crucial challenge here. Sorry, crucial review here.
Review, that's right. See that? Tip the ball from behind.
Yeah,
but
it was off the
foot
In,
of Marvin.
Marvin, oh,
Marvin.
parang eh.
Look off the foot of Marvin. Unlike in game number 1, which was so much more.
Gonzalez trying to move quick. Nice pass, Bob Banal. This is big.
Oh!
He hits a free. Down to a 1-possession ball game.
And when you're a 3-point shooting team, you do not stay away from your identity.
No need to foul if you're Quezon. They're not yet in penalty anyway. 10 seconds left on their shot clock. Brickman taking some time, getting past LJ Gonzalez. Rejected by Sandagon, flips it up. The tap is good!
Oh my!
Just in the nick of time. And who did it again, Coach Mike?
Jason Brickman against LJ Gonzalez, beating him down the floor. Simon does a good job defending, takes another crack at it, but wow, John Oduba in the nick of time.
And again, the failure of Quezon to secure the defensive rebound has caught 100K viewers watching us on the official MPBL official page.
And that's not even counting the thousands of other viewers outside of the venue, where I do understand they have an LED board that allows those who could not get in. This is a full house gym for the second straight finals game day here in ABRA. Just evidence of how basketball is much loved in this part of the country.
John Oduba, 8.7 rebounds, but that rebound and field goal, the biggest one yet.
Yeah. And I think, Ken, you pointed out that they failed to locate, or box out rebounders, but in my opinion, it really was just because John Oduba refused to give up. He just kept on moving.
Still enough time though for Quezon. Gonzalez. Crossover dribble. Floater.
Oh man.
32.2 seconds left. No need to foul.
Not done yet.
Brickman almost lost it. Gives it up to Mike Ayonayon. Ildefonso, 20 seconds remaining.
About a 7-second differential on the clocks.
Shot clock at 5. Brickman goes up. Draws a foul. With 11.5 seconds left.
What mastery by Jason Brickman. He knew he had Tamsi on him, who was, you know, in terms of speed against LJ Gonzalez, he can take on. And here he just goes in there and tries to make something out of it. He knows that these guys are in penalty, and he was going to get to the line.
Calmly, all net on the first free throw. Second free throw rattles out.
Door still open.
7 seconds remaining. LJ. Now this is a very tricky situation. Sorry, Coach
Yeah.
Mike. Because ABRA is in penalty. LJ, he has the option of making the first free throw. Actually, kailangan niya may pasok muna yung una.
That is right.
And then the option is to miss the second.
Yeah.
And try to grab the offense. For sure, ABRA will call for a timeout. Pero ito muna, yung pinaka-importante, yung unang free throw. Oh. That changes things. Big miss at the front end of the free throws.
Definitely, you gotta make this.
Gets the second to trickle in with 6 3-point shot. Ildefonso will trigger it in. Brickman back to Dave, and that's gonna do it. ABRA will survive. They push. Meron pa bang oras na natira? Yun ang tanong.
Clearly, the instructions of Coach Eric was, once he saw that formation, he wanted to funnel that ball on one side.
Now, they will look to see how much time was left on the game clock. The Abreños all smiles as they're in the midst of going up 2-0 in this best of 5 series.
See this right here. We still have time.
Meron pa konti.
Meron pa, yeah, meron pa.
Pero parang ano na lang,
I think
tenths of a second na lang.
Yeah, yeah.
So Coach Eric Gonzalez made that bold decision. But
Missed the second, that's it.
Hindi, kahit shoot na niya pareho eh. Basta
pareho,
mapasok
yeah.
na itong una. Mintis yung una though.
But again, that conversation of going back to Lucena with that mindset of we were that close, especially in game number 2, had they performed in the same level as field goal makes in game number 1, it might have been another game number 1 story, but this time in favor of the Huskers. But gotta give credit to the Weavers. They stood their ground and defended well. That's really been brought to them by the Huskers.
Best player of the game is powered by 747 Live. Play what you love, win what you deserve. Dave Ildefonso, even though he struggled from the field, another double-double performance. Doing it in so many ways to help his team get the victory tonight.
And he defended by committing only 1 foul. Made it difficult for any offensive player right in front of him. And boy, I feel those 4 rebounds that he did in game number 1.
Our final score, 62-58. ABRA holding off QUEZON and winning game number 2 of this series. Let's go courtside to Miss Mika Bisamis.
Maraming